Hey, what's good, man? Welcome back to the channel, Ster-e-o-type. You see, I got my boy RC, that guy, back in the house, man.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Hey, man, slow boogie.
Yes, sir. Look, hey, we got a good one, another good conversation piece.
Come on,
So,
shoot it at me.
so going up and down the gram, ran across this post somebody posted. Now, the guy posted the post, and somebody shared it and put a comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just pull it up. So this guy posted that he's done with being gay. Excuse me. He said it was fun for 20. It's been fun, but he's 25 now, and it's time for a wife and kids. So somebody posted, "Ladies, could you date a guy who says he's done with being gay and wants a family?" So going through the comments, I saw a guy comment, and he said, "Well, women do it all the time, so why can't he do it?" So that being said, our topic this: is it easier for a woman versus a man to go straight after a gay past, and why? And we really need women to chime in on this. I've had this conversation with women before, right? And most of the women I know would not want, a man with that kind of past. But then there are some, and in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion, it is easier for women. But then that might be considered biased because most men like women that like women. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
yeah. So unless you're a woman that likes men, that might not be your thing. But to answer the question on the post, can a man, after having a gay past, go straight? I'm gonna say, in my opinion, he can try. I actually have a story behind that as well. I might tell it, I might not tell it, but I do know of a guy that tried that, and
Yeah.
I remember telling one of my peoples like, "Hey, that's not gonna work." You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, um, once you give up your manhood, you can't. There's no backseats. You know what I mean? Like the manhood gone forever. And I think that goes either way, but it's especially if you were the woman in the relationship. I don't think that it makes it any better if you wasn't the woman, but I definitely feel like it makes it a lot worse if you were the female. Because how you gonna get that? How you gonna get that manhood card back? And and he said he ready for a wife and kids. You know what I mean?
Okay. But I question this to you though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it really be him going straight, or him just really saying he want a family with a woman, as well as still do his sexual deeds with that woman
well,
and
what
a man?
what he said, just going off of his post, he said, "I'm 25 now. Being gay was fun, but it's time for a wife and kids." So I'm taking that as he's closing the chapter on that gay, and he's ready to go straight. I mean, that's how I interpreted his post.
Right. And here's what I question. This is the reason why I say this, because see, when I'm thinking about it and as I'm processing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this is what your sexual preference is and this is what you really like,
Mm-hmm.
are you really going, or are you just
Mm.
kind of playing house
He's
when you're
trying.
going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Why not find somebody or woman that entertains what you like to do?
Right.
So you ain't necessarily giving up who you are. You're just saying, hey, this is what I want my kids to be, in a household with a mother and a father, because this is what I believe in. But I also just sexually, this is what I like to do.
Yeah. And I can respect that.
And
I,
that's just where I took my take on it.
I hear that and I respect that because that's why I said no. I said he can try,
Mm-hmm.
but we all like what we like. Like you can be a whoremonger and cheated on every woman you was with,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get to a point where you say, okay, I want to settle down with one woman, and that's what you're gonna try to do, and you might
Mm-hmm.
be able to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't take away the desire that you've had all this time. You just can't close that book and say, okay, I'm no longer going to desire other women. I'm not going to be attracted to other women anymore. That doesn't happen. In my opinion, I think you always like what you like. If you find men attractive, you can say, okay, I'm not going to mess with men no more. But
Right.
you still going to find them attractive. You just might, not cross those lines no more.
I mean, it's so many different layers to it that we can really go and break down because you got some that was just like this was experimental for me. Not
Hmm.
I'm not even really into it. It was just experimental. I tried it. I didn't. It wasn't for me. You
Yeah.
got some that hey, and that could be him.
Hmm.
That could have been him. Like hey, I had fun. I tried it. That
Right,
really
right.
wasn't for me, and I want to go back to my regular schedule program.
Facts, facts.
Um, but then you got some that hey, no, I'm really like this, but I also really like women, and so
Hold on, not to cut you off, but hold on. I, I had to pull the picture because because I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Yeah, no, I don't think he was experimenting. I think that was what he was in. You hear me?
well, it could be. I'm,
and,
I'm
and,
not.
and not
I
not
don't
to
know
be
that gentleman, so I can't really
yeah,
just
not
stand
not
10 toes on any of it.
not to be judgmental, but in my professional opinion,
Right. Like, hey,
I think that was his life. That's what he was living.
it,
He was
it,
enjoying that.
whatever it is, hey, all I can say is what my
You
hypothesis to it and
you
conclusion to whatever
you,
it is.
you wish him luck.
Hey, to whatever in his endeavors and whatever he decided to do, my guy. Hey, I'm happily married. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm out the rat race. I know what I wanted, and I know what
yeah.
I rock for. Uh, I'm not here to judge anybody on what they want to do. It's just we just simply this is a conversation that was well worth talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
amongst me and you to
Our
have a
opinion,
discussion.
our
Yeah,
opinion. From two heterosexual men. Like I said, we can only speak on that from a certain standpoint. Just give
right,
our opinions, our thoughts.
right.
But okay, let's go to the women's side. Like I said,
Okay.
is it easier for women to go straight after a gay pass than a man?
In our eyes as a man, yeah, we would look at it like that because
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, girl on girl with a man, hey, man,
Mm-hmm.
that's like
Mm-hmm.
every man's kind of, his
Yeah.
dream,
Fantasy. Yeah.
yeah,
But
exactly. Fantasy is the best word I was gonna get ready to say. Uh, it's every man's fantasy in a way
mm-hmm.
to experience that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't like as far as women, it's on a different scale because
There's a double standard.
it is. I
Yeah.
mean, in a male's perspective way.
Even women. I mean, because you got women that'll say, okay, women do it, why can't men do it? But again, you would have to be that type of woman that you're okay with that.
You're open minded.
You're okay with a man having that kind of past because even women would tell you that, oh well, because let me tell you something. When
Yeah.
women it's more experimental. They'll tell you, oh, we just experiment. They don't consider themselves lesbian or gay just because they experienced that. But a man, once a man has crossed that threshold, he's considered gay.
Well,
That's the double standard.
here's the thing. In as far as the women's side of it,
Mm-hmm.
the other girls could look at it like that. No, oh, she gay.
Mm-hmm.
Just how we look at it, like, oh no, he gay. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but in short form, on the male's perspective, we like, nah, we just like that. It's just that freaky little mother,
Yeah, yeah. But the
that
majority, even women, would say, uh, that's why it's called lesbian. They don't even call it gay. You know what I mean? It's just gay for the man. But again, being men that like women, I guess our point of view is biased, and
right.
but we can admit that there is a double standard, and it is what it is. Shit,
Oh, for sure,
yeah, it is what it is.
for sure.
So my opinion would be yes, it is easier but at the same token, I will say, just like I said about the man, if a woman is attracted to women,
Mm.
even if she never goes and sleep with a woman again, that doesn't take away the attraction she has for women. She'll always have that attraction. She'll always see a beautiful woman and be like, damn, she's gorgeous, or she's sexy, or she's pretty, or I don't know how far lusting over her go, but I think if the right opportunity presented itself, she might take her down. And matter of fact, not to change the subject, I guess this is kind of the subject at the same time. You got all these women, it's like a unspoken thing that all these women take these girl trips together and get on some freaky shit. You don't heard about it. Take these
Oh,
girls trips and secretly, in some freaky shit, and come back home like ain't nothing never happened. Come back home to that straight relationship they in,
hey,
because
you
it
got
because it was
the Freaknik, you had the
yeah.
Kappa, you had what Miami, the little thing out there in Miami. All these little different things. Like girls trip can mean multiple things, depending
Mm-hmm,
on the kind of broad.
mm-hmm,
But see, and this is just the thing that it's a lot of deceitfulness amongst each other when it comes down to a relationship because a person don't want to lose a person. Instead of them
mm-hmm,
being straightforward, this is who I am.
mm-hmm.
If you rock with me, rock with me. So that we can build a great foundation around each other and have the best life possible for ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
If everyone was more honest with each other instead of just trying to get what they can get out of the person and then just like F you after that,
Mm-hmm.
things will be a lot more smoother in the way things will go.
Yeah, I think in most cases a woman is willing to share her man one time, or maybe here and there, but most women.
No, most women selfish, nigga. I ain't gonna tell you. I can't even sit there and say that. Most women straight up, they just like us. We territorial too, man.
Oh
I,
no,
I
I mean, well, you got men that are sure they're women. I just ain't that
no.
man.
I'm
But
saying most men are territorial. We're gonna say 85%. Most men are 80
oh,
territorial on what their main who their main
shit,
is.
I'm gonna say
Now, if
90% of men. But I'm gonna say from my experience in women, most women are willing to. Most of the women I've met were willing to try something once or here and there, but they weren't willing to share you all the time. They didn't want to try like polygamy, because I'd be like shit, because if you tell me something about, hey, we could do a threesome, I'm gonna push the envelope. Hey, what about a polygamy relationship? But
but
I'm just
but
being
let me ask
real.
you this question. Let me ask you this question. And
Hmm.
every woman that you have dealt with, has she been a keeper for her to even be to think the way that she had thought of it like that?
No, hell no. Every woman ain't no keeper. Hell no.
Oh, okay. So now that changes now this is why I'm about to bring this to you.
Hmm.
Most women, and this is why I said it's about 90% that men are willing to share, about 90% about women willing to share.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because if you're a keeper,
Hmm.
nobody wants to share their keeper.
Mm. True, true, true. Well,
We're willing to share something that I know you're not mine, and I'm not really looking for you to be mine, but you look like you're a good time.
well, mostly that's as a man, but because women would do a lot of things to please a man. You've had men that have cheated on women, and she felt like, okay, I don't want to lose him, so maybe I'll give him a threesome to keep him. You feel me? But that's
Right.
something that men don't do. Well,
But see
most men.
then again, he was already out the door, and she was just fighting to keep him.
That's my point. That's why I said women.
So now you're saying something, so now you're adding another layer to it.
Hmm.
She
Hmm.
was never a keeper, because a man that's a keeper, or a woman that's a keeper, they're not gonna go out their way to do something that's gonna tarnish who she is or who he is, just to be around someone.
Well, see, that's why I say women are built so different. Like, not all women. Some women just, I've also met women that, hey, if you cheat on me, I'm done. But
Right.
there are some women that's like, well, we're gonna go to counseling. We're gonna try to work it out. So it depends on that person. How, it depends on their self worth. You know what I mean?
And I'm not to say, it's not to say that it couldn't be saved or anything like that. It's just to say what most Western American women and men are is a because most of our women would take more from us than we would take from them as far as relationship cheating and all that. So it's not a lot of men that I know will allow or be around with a woman just doing the most. It's not a lot of women that I know that will tolerate a man cheating and staying.
Not a lot.
It's not
a lot.
But that goes but it goes into you finding that person for you and y'all fighting for each other. That's where the real love come in. Hey, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And nor are you, but are we willing to find and sacrifice what's necessary to keep this thing going? Like, hey, I'm not worrying about what everybody else got going on. I'm worrying about what we got going on in our house, our household. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what that boils down to.
Okay. So we got off topic again like we always do. hey, that's all a part of being layers. You hear me? It's gonna go from one to the next.
Yeah.
But anyways, to sum up the topic. It's easier for a woman to give up a gay pass than a man, and to answer why, because it's a double standard. You know, men are willing to accept that. Now, will women accept that? You know, we need a woman to chime in and tell us. You know, I'd like to get a hundred. What is it called? A survey of 100 women to answer this question and kind of narrow it down to why. I want to see how many women would accept that a man with that pass. Like I said, I did have a story, but I'll save that for another day.
Right.
So you agree on that? That it is easier for a woman?
I would say.
So, and why would you say?
More or less because of the standard. It doesn't. It's not as cliche or frowned upon.
And because we're men, and we
exactly. It's not a frown upon from us.
Yeah.
As more as it would be from the female side.
Yeah.
So
we find that attractive. Shit. Okay. Well, shit, man. Another great session. I think we're gonna end it on that one and possibly chop it up again in a minute.
Yes, sir.
While I'm stuck in the house.
Hey, we gonna get to it. We putting in some work today, big dog.
That's a bit, man. Well, hey, man, y'all like, share, and subscribe above all, and tune in and throw us some topics, and we're gonna jump on it. Hey, if there's any females out there that wanna come on the show and chime in and give your point of view on anything we've talked about, feel free. Till next time.
In a minute.